Name's Ava. I'm a Scorpio.
No. What's your last name?
Oh, Ava Combs.
What's your other last name?
Ava Baroni.
Ava Baroni Combs? Yes, it was breaking news. Diddy adopted a white child. I want you to tell them the story about how I adopted you. But you still have beautiful parents but you're my child also. But please tell the story.
So, I was decided that he would like to be a caring man. So then he saw me and decided to pick me up and said to come inside and play with his thing.
Hey, what are we doing tonight, baby?
We're making desserts for our bonfire tomorrow.
Okay.
Because, and like everyone that was invited has to bring something, and then our thing that we had to bring was dessert. And then like everyone else, they bring like food and drink.
A federal judge has officially rejected Diddy's plea to postpone his trial, following the emergence of shocking new evidence involving 3 additional alleged victims. In a surprising turn, his family has reportedly stopped attending the courtroom proceedings altogether. Meanwhile, Ava Barron Combs, Diddy's adopted stepdaughter, is now allegedly being subpoenaed to testify in the upcoming case. Adding to the chaos, social media is buzzing with rumors claiming that Ava might be a missing child, throwing the internet into a frenzy. The story is spiraling fast. Let's break it all down.
Around and found some old photos that go back many years. She was with him when she was very, very young, so she is in fact his adopted daughter. Some are saying this woman in the background here is her mother, but nothing is confirmed. You can see she's been with him, seen everywhere with Diddy's daughter. Here's another one. And I mean, they go way back. And here's a few more. So it shows that, yes, indeed, they spent time together and they grew up together. This is, in fact, their sister and Diddy's adopted daughter. However, I found a video that is so suspect. I want you guys to check it out and tell me what you think.
This is my life.
I'm a lot of cars now.
This is because I am a great father, but I'm sleeping with the girl. Tell me, who do y'all have a crush on? Tell daddy.
Well, many are asking, where's Ava Baroni Combs now? This is the most recent photo I found. There's another one I'm going to show you, which is this one right here. But sisters and Diddy.
Fans are digging deep into the unsettling details of Diddy's connection to Ava Barron Combs, and what they're uncovering is disturbing. Back in 2020, during an Instagram Live, Diddy introduced Ava as his adopted daughter, claiming she had asked specifically for a black father. At the time, she was said to be just 12 years old. In a moment that raised eyebrows, Diddy kissed her on the cheek as she shared that she had previously been homeless. But things took a turn when TMZ later reported there was no legal record of Diddy ever adopting Ava. Even more chilling? Ava's face appeared to be a near-perfect match with a missing child reported lost during the same period Diddy claimed. She came into his life.
His demeanor or anything on, from that we picked up from Diddy today?
Yeah, it was different than usual. You know, he got into the courtroom with his pad of paper and his pen, really intently ready to just take notes. And he looked back into the gallery where he usually sees a row of family members and friends, supporters of his. But when he turned around and looked in the gallery, none of his children, his son Justin, did come in and sit in the gallery. Did he turned a second time, looked directly at him, kind of nodded and acknowledged that his son was in the courtroom today. But you could really tell that it impacted him when he turned back and did not see any kind of friendly face, Connell.
Here's where some of the allegations against Justin Combs, describing him as someone who solicited. Now, in this specific instance, Lil Rod alleges at least one underage girl came to Diddy's home for a listening party. A sex worker was also apparently solicited, and a freak-off ensued. As an aside, this is the same night that Lil Rod alleges Diddy forced him to take a laced shot. He started to feel lightheaded and then woke up at 4 o'clock in the morning, naked next to a sex worker. It's important to note Justin Combs is listed as a defendant on this case because, according to Lil Rod, he facilitated Diddy's alleged RICO enterprise, and at times,
Diddy's troubling legacy of abuse is catching up with him, and now even his own family seems to be distancing themselves. Neither of his sons, Justin nor Quincy, whom Diddy raised from the age of 3, have been seen in court, and shockingly, both are now named in lawsuits alongside him. Leaked footage allegedly places Justin at several of Diddy's infamous freak-off parties, raising serious concerns. In a damning lawsuit former producer Lil Rod accused Justin of helping cover up a drive-by shooting linked to Diddy. Even more disturbing, the legal documents allege that Justin played a role in arranging sex workers for his father. The deeper this case goes, the darker it gets.
I be wanting to know, like, why were you so infatuated with a child that wasn't yours? Were you grooming that little boy? I don't even want to start those conversations because that's not your child. You know what I'm saying? And for you to keep him that close, it's like you can't seem like.
Diddy's alleged history of abuse isn't limited to strangers. Disturbing claims suggest it may extend to his own household. Insiders have long raised red flags about his relationship with his adopted son, Quincy Combs. According to Freddie P., a former artist under Diddy's wing, he personally witnessed unsettling interactions between the mogul and Quincy. The allegations go even deeper, with whispers that Diddy may have been grooming Quincy from a young age. If true, this points to a deeply troubling pattern that stretches back years.
5 years old at the time. She believed that the trip would be a, quote, wholesome family excursion, but says it, quote, turned into a hedonistic environment, even describing rampant drug use amongst sex workers and celebrities who came on board. She believes that the alcohol on the yacht had been laced with drugs because she says women would have one drink and then almost immediately pass out or start falling over. Jones's lawsuit that Combs would spike the drinks of different people. But focusing on Christian Combs, Markey says that Christian Combs had been staying at a villa on the shore, but that he would come onto the yacht in the evening to party. And on December 28, 2022, Christian reportedly arrived very intoxicated and then proceeded to pressure Markey to take shots of tequila. She did. Christian allegedly tried to get her to drink more in the yacht's makeshift studio. Markey alleges that Christian kissed her neck, kissed her face, as he groped her legs, breasts, and private area.
This alleged pattern of abuse appears to have passed from Diddy to his sons, with both Christian and Justin now facing serious accusations of their own. The toxic cycle Diddy is accused of starting seems to be repeating itself in the next generation. Christian, also known as King Combs, was recently named in a lawsuit filed by 26-year-old flight attendant Grace Omar. According to the suit, Grace alleges that Christian drugged her with spiked drinks at one of Diddy's yacht parties, then groped and sexually harassed her. The disturbing echoes of Diddy's alleged behavior are now surfacing in his sons, and the fallout is only beginning.
Involvement in an alleged shooting cover-up. According to court documents, it happened on September 12, 2022, outside Diddy's Chalice Studios. Lil Rod says Diddy, his son Justin, and Justin's friend who went by G were all there when things got heated. Lil Rod says he heard multiple gunshots ring out and later found G on the bathroom floor in the fetal position. Lil Rod says he was bleeding out of his hip and leg area. At that point, both Diddy and Justin Combs disappeared to another part of the studio. Diddy then gave strict instructions to inform the police that he had nothing to do with the shooting. He also forced Mr. Jones to lie to the police by telling them that G was shot standing outside the studio by a drive-by assailant. So that specific allegation involves Diddy's son Justin, but another allegation and entirely separate civil lawsuit involves his other son Christian, or King Combs. Grace Omar K alleges that Christian Combs sexually assaulted her on a yacht in December 2022, and she said
Diddy's children aren't just bystanders. They're allegedly entangled in the very abuse and criminal cover-ups tied to their father. Justin Combs, in particular, is accused of playing a direct role in concealing a violent incident. In a lawsuit filed by music producer Lil Rod Jones, it's claimed that a drive-by shooting took place inside a Los Angeles recording studio. A man known only as G was reportedly discovered bleeding on the floor. According to the filing, Diddy was at the scene and immediately instructed Lil Rod to lie to the police. As law enforcement closed in, Diddy and Justin allegedly hid together to avoid being questioned. These details suggest a deep web of complicity, and the story keeps getting dark.
Another thing with Mr. Burgess. Burgess' phone was seized by the feds, and on it was a copy of a flash drive with material that was used in this book. Here's the problem. Christian and Quincy Combs, these are the sons of Diddy and Kim Porter. Quincy's actually adopted by Diddy. But they are reportedly fighting back, and they have sent Burgess a cease and desist letter to prevent the further sale of this book. They argue this is just an attempt to capitalize on her intellectual property, like her diary entries, her potential manuscript, as her heirs. They own it. And they also want an accounting of current sales of the book. To be clear, though, they aren't acknowledging that there is, in fact, a long-lost memoir from their mother. In fact, they've actually denied that before when there was a similar book, a derivative work, we'll talk about that, published by this guy named Chris Todd on Amazon. They were adamantly fighting against that. They said that their mother wouldn't write this. But what they're basically saying is if something...
To make things even more disturbing, Diddy's children are reportedly trying to block the release of their own mother's memoir. The unpublished manuscript, said to have been written by the late Kim Porter, allegedly reveals explosive details about Diddy's alleged sex trafficking operation. Kim's longtime friend, Courtney Burgess, has been working to bring her story to light, but now faces legal action from Diddy's kids, who have filed a lawsuit to stop the memoir from being published. The move has left many stunned, accusing them of betraying their mother's truth to protect their father's legacy.
She is taken by her mother to bars so that men will notice them. She's 15 when she comes home one night and an older man they know is in the apartment with the key. She writes, it was rape and a devastating betrayal, revealed by the man's cruel question, how does it feel to be whored by your mother for $500?
She sold you?
I think in my deep heart, no. I don't think it was a straightforward transaction, but she still did give him the access and put me in harm's way.
The dark side of Hollywood has long been plagued by stories of child exploitation, with some of the industry's biggest stars being trafficked by their own parents. Demi Moore, for example, was allegedly sold by her mother for just $500. It's not hard to imagine that someone like Diddy could be involved in similar horrifying activities. Shockingly, several attendees at Diddy's infamous parties have stepped forward, claiming they witnessed parents bringing their children to his freak-off events, and then abandoning them there alone. These chilling accounts paint a grim picture of the depths to which some will sink in the pursuit of fame and
was always anti-Diddy and was always speaking about Diddy as a problematic person was 50 Cent. And it turns out that it's just been, and was tried to speak out about this. It was tried to speak out about the industry, the type of people that are controlling the industry, the attacks that people face from the media if they try to speak out is always the same. They're called crazy. And an example of one such individual who went through those sorts of attacks is the actor Orlando Brown. He was on Disney, and I remember time sounded crazy, particularly about Diddy. Take a listen.
The requirement is you gotta say no to Diddy. If it's new booty in the building, you know he's gonna get it.
Don't take your girlfriend to a Diddy party.
You can take the but he wants you.
Diddy, to me, is the fall guy. We are still seeing a major effort to protect the big names.
Well, that's why it's only business. It was really, away from that, I explained why I didn't hang out with him.
Not your scene.
They hug you from the front and the back at the same time. I got uncomfortable with him because the way he was acting to try and get me to hang out with him was like, yo, I'll take you shopping. Like, and I'm like, what you mean? Like, that's something you say to a woman you're attracted to, maybe.
Right.
It's just weird, bro. Like, and now you start to see a lot of the weird stuff that was there. It looks like it all lines up, don't it? It was not in the closet. It was in front of you, and you wasn't seeing it because you see the beards, or you see the girl. Like, and when I say people respond, how people respond to things matter. Like the internet will take to it and just go off with it. Meek responds being the uncomfortability. He goes, yo, nah, I spend $100,000 to find out why my name is in this like this, and it's in it only because.
In the world of Hollywood, it wasn't a secret. Everyone knew what was happening at Diddy's notorious freak-off parties. Children were reportedly present, and disturbing video evidence has surfaced to support these claims. Celebrities who attended these events were fully aware of the abuse taking place, yet they still showed up. Why? Because for many, the allure of fame and power outweighed any concern for the victims. The industry's indifference to the suffering at these parties speaks volumes about the level of corruption and moral decay lurking behind the glittering facade of...
Close when he offered to take you shopping.
Yeah, you see, Meek is in the same shirt. He's out there in the same shirt. This is not Photoshop.
Shit. This is
Stop it. Just set that up. Look, obviously was not offended by what I was offended by. Guys may say to a girl, you know, like, let me take a shot. See?
Damn.
They found it that quick.
What do you think's happening in the middle?
I don't know what's going on.
Wow,
Because he was like, yo, you hot now. Now we gotta hang out now. Like, you know, like hang out.
Yeah.
Let me just move away from him because I'm gonna mess up the way. Certain things they let it go by because it's Puff. He wasn't like in the closet. He was like in the hallway.
All these years, you being the only one calling this out.
No, I look like I've been the crazy guy for a long
They
time.
say you're a hater. They say you're crazy.
You do this, yeah, and now everybody's complaining.
Diddy allegedly had his sights set on 50 Cent and even suggested taking him out for a shopping spree. However, 50 Cent wasn't interested and turned him down. On the other hand, Meek Mill didn't hesitate to say yes to Diddy's offer. He recognized the immense fame and opportunities that would come from aligning himself with the mogul, eager to use the connection to further his...
And you don't throw out allegations, but like, you kind of poke fun at them.
You just ask questions.
You're not worried that it comes back your way? Like people dig up your past and try to pull stuff up?
I don't got that shit in my past. I'm not.
Everybody got a little bit.
Look,
like, not that it's real enough.
I took a pill, but it was for me to perform better. For her to remember, buddy. I didn't fucking give her a drink so she forget what the fuck happened. What the fuck is going on here, bro? Yes, I took the drink. I gave me the fucking drug to perform. Yo, bro, look, I'm doing pretty good. Like, I'm pretty good. You know what I mean? Like, but I'm just saying, this is the opposite of normal shit that we're talking about, bro.
That is why. I don't know why it's so hard for people
so
just
for people to feel like you
weird.
would have something or you would have reserved energy because you feel like you was doing it too. This is people that are looking on separation between their hardships or their the things that they got going on that would be issues and what a celebrity's issues would be.
Wait, what does that mean?
They think all celebrities are doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Right, and when you see, if I wasn't saying anything, guess what? You could safely say that a person on the outskirts that is not involved in hip-hop culture could think that everybody in hip-hop culture is with you.
Do it, right?
Yeah.
I know you've been heavy on social media talking about it.
He did it. And I'm the only one who's been vocal about this long before it actually...
Oh, you've been saying this for a long time now. And then no one was, they're just, why is he saying this? And now it's coming out like crazy. I mean,
but I also didn't participate. I also didn't go to those parties.
Yeah.
So a lot of the celebrity culture that you don't hear saying.
So was there a reason you never went to those parties back in the day? Obviously, I know what was going on there, but is there a reason you never did?
I'm just not with all that freaky shit. Like all of the stuff that he's doing, I'm not into that type of stuff. I'm just a little more, maybe you could say basic or...
The reason 50 Cent is speaking out while others remain silent is simple. He has nothing to hide. Unlike the many celebrities who partied with Diddy and attended his notorious freak-off events, 50 chose integrity over complicity. Now he's stepping forward to expose the names of those who were allegedly involved in this sex trafficking ring, revealing the dark secrets that others are desperately trying.
Series that you've been working on, Diddy Do It.
Right.
You've been saying for years that you feel you knew Diddy's character.
Right.
Yet you said you weren't a part of that lifestyle, you weren't going to the parties. So what makes you so absolutely sure that these kinds of allegations that we've seen against him are true?
Well, I'm surprised by the allegations, as surprised as everyone else is. Like, I didn't make the allegations. I didn't tell people to say these parts.
Party with me.
Yeah. And then that swayed me away from it. Just that alone.
So you didn't realize
as much stuff was coming. Like, when I seen today, it was allegations of 3 men that said he drugged them. And it's a long time, to be honest with you. Like, when people don't remember being violated for 20 years, it makes me feel a little hard.
What are your thoughts on the allegations against Jay-Z?
That was interesting. When I was saying things, not knowing exactly what I was saying, but I was going, where's Jay at? He's mad quiet. Like while the Puffy thing was going on. But it's obvious now that his team was being made aware that he was in those allegations also. So it's kind of interesting. I think that civil suit turned into a look. They looked at it like maybe it's a criminal situation.
Right.
A little early, and it could have been that thing.
That kind of why you was going hard on him the last couple years. Is it because of the liquor situation? Because to be honest, since the situation he's in now, it's kind of like you fell back. You fell back on him. Was this all over the liquor, or you just said?
Well, most of that was motivation. That was competing,
right?
But with brands, and they was ahead of me.
Right.
Because he had been working on Ciroc and stuff like that. And then integrating it into our culture with Coco Loso and different things with different, different people connected to it. So, yeah, that's what that was. But when you look at, he would do a lot of foul shit. Like behind the scenes, he would do some.
Scent is on a mission to expose everyone connected to Diddy, and Meek Mill and Jay-Z are just the beginning. As he continues to uncover the web of connections, more high-profile names are expected to be dragged into...
Apparently, he's going to take this stand and talk about her abuser. Obviously, that tape of him beating her up at the hotel is what set off this whole thing. You know what I mean? Like, this has just made it matters so bad for Diddy. So now that she is going to sit up there and, like, look him square in the eyes and talk about her side of the story, that's not great.
Also add some extra zhuzh when you have like a well-known public figure coming forward.
Trusted public figure.
Trusted.
And Caitlin, let's start with you. What happened, or what has happened in court today?
It was a pretty big day in court, Connell. We actually learned that Diddy was offered a plea deal in this case, which he rejected. Not really a surprise that when one was put on the table, he said no. He has vehemently maintained his innocence this entire time. I could not see a world where he would accept any kind of plea deal. So we heard that today. The other big takeaway from court, and we are in crunch, the now infamous video of Diddy and Cassie in that hotel room where he is seen allegedly attacking her will be played in court for jurors. Now, the original video, the original surveillance doesn't exist anymore. So we have a copy that was obtained by CNN. So, obtained by CNN, yes. And it was taken by a cell phone video. So you're going to have the person who took the video testifying in court and independent people there that are going to authenticate it. But the jury is going to see that. The other types of evidence that they're going to see.
The people close to Diddy are beginning to speak out. And just last week, it was confirmed that Cassie will be testifying in the upcoming trial. Cassie, who was with Diddy for 11 years, holds crucial information about the abuse she endured and the horrors she witnessed firsthand. Her testimony is expected to be a key part of the case. However, Diddy's legal team is fighting to suppress evidence, including a video showing Diddy allegedly assaulting Cassie. His lawyers argue that the footage, which lasts 30 minutes, is inadmissible if edited down, claiming shortening it would compromise its integrity.
Music mogul Sean Diddy Combs, a judge has denied his request to delay the proceedings, and that means jury selection could start in just weeks. ABC's Phil Lipoff is tracking this case. Good morning, Phil.
Yeah, Gio, good morning. It looks like it's going to. Sean Combs' trial date is set to go on as expected Friday. A judge ruled Combs' criminal sex trafficking trial will begin next month as scheduled after he denied the defense's request for a 2-month adjournment. The trial is set to begin May 5th with jury selection. The judge said it now representing him. The judge agreed, however, to allow alleged victims to testify under pseudonyms, but one star witness, Diddy's ex, Cassie Ventura, is expected to testify under her own name. She filed, you'll remember, a quickly settled civil lawsuit against Combs. The judge agreed with a defense request to receive outtakes of interviews conducted for a documentary produced by Warner Brothers. Those interviews were conducted with potential trial witnesses. Combs appeared in Jailhouse Beige on Friday and was given a moment at the end of the hearing to communicate with his mother and one of his sons. He told them, "I love you and we're good." He has pleaded, we should mention, not guilty to all 5 federal counts and maintain.
Diddy's legal team has been fighting to delay the trial, and just last week they filed a motion requesting a 2-month postponement. They argued that the recent superseding indictment brought forth significant new charges and evidence, and that they needed more time to prepare a proper defense. Fortunately, for the prosecution, the motion was denied, and in just 2 weeks, Diddy will...
As we can tell, there's no expense being spared. We had a black billionaire's lunch. Yeah. You understand? Right. And we here together, keep staying together. We getting tighter. You know what I'm saying? And united we stand, and ain't nothing else.
When Jay signed his contract, the big one was with Beyonce. When he signed that contract, the marriage contract, he got trophies. No, those fucking trophies came rolling in, buddy. He started getting Grammys left and right, man. I mean, look, if you look at the guy, he had one.
Exactly.
He had one.
And he ain't show up.
No, he has like 20 now.
Hold on.
He had like 18 since he's been down. Look, he had one, bro. Hard Knock Life.
Hold on. You're not wrong. At the same time.
After that, he got them shits. He's like drinking. His pictures with him like fucking thinks the cup.
Wait a minute. So you're saying the success is derived
The accolades
because
from
he's
the
no
marriage.
longer viewed as what, like a street or gangster rapper. Now he's viewed as a businessman, entrepreneur, family man.
And the biggest ones, because
look at that and say the association to Beyonce is when he started to receive the 16 17 Grammys since he's been with Beyonce, right? And you go prior to that, one even have Grammys. Like they don't sing yet. They don't sing.
Right.
They don't rap yet. And they already have Grammys and shit. So it's like they give them this trophy so